welcome to the E14 Gamecast, Emotionally 14's gaming podcast. I'm Rob Wade, and I'm joined, as always, by my host, my pet rock, Blake Harmer.
Howdy.
You're not local co-op this evening, you are online co-op.
Yeah.
So we are separated by the poor weather, which has made knaves
Welcome
and
to the
fools.
world of online multiplayer podcasting.
Exactly. So I'm just going to drop F-bombs at you and teabag your mum or something, I don't know. I feel bad doing that, I know your mum. that'd be tricky.
I feel awful. Your mother's lovely.
Yeah, pretty much, yeah. I thought it would be a nice, simple, what games are gaming kind of evening.
Yeah, no, that's fine. Because we're sort of knackered by the bad weather this time of recording.
Yeah, the aforementioned weather has made things a little bit, difficult. So we shall persevere as best we can, and the output will hopefully be enjoyable for those who are interested. So we should go with that. So, what games are you gaming, Blake?
My main game at the moment, after I think at the time of recorded last time, I mentioned that I finished God of War and highly recommend it. I am now playing Far Cry 5 at the moment. Nice. I'm enjoying it so far. At the moment, it seems to be more of the same. Really, if you played anything post Far Cry 3, you know what you're getting, sort of thing.
Yeah.
The only thing I do like, and it does sort of take the mick a little bit in like the early training bit, is that it does remove the need to climb towers or whatever to unlock bits of the map, as Ubisoft is well known for doing.
Yes.
From once you've done the initial training mini bit, the whole world opens up and you can do whatever. You can do it in any order, so it's quite good in that regard.
Yeah.
There's like 3 areas you need to do before you can unlock the last one. But it seems to be. I'm still on the first area. I'm near the end of the first, completing one of the 3 areas, and it's. I imagine it's going to keep me playing for quite a while, because it does seem to be quite a big game. So,
yeah.
But I said I like it and I enjoy Far Cry anyway, so there's not really much to be angry about it for. But if I had a gripe, is that you know what you're getting with it. It doesn't seem to be anything, doesn't really bring much that's new to the table that hasn't been done in like Primal or Far Cry 4, really.
Yeah.
It just sort of does it well, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, no, I get what you're saying. I think it sounds like in terms of the progression mechanic is very similar to Mafia 3 by the sounds of it, because that was one where the object of the game was obviously to take out the bloke at the top, but on the way up you had to sort of do little sections of it, and you had to take out certain people not in the right order, but you had to take out certain people in order to unlock the next bit.
Yeah, there's like in Far Cry 5 there's like 3 lieutenants, and then obviously there's the big bad guy at the end, Joseph Seed. It's sort of like his children are like the 3 lieutenants.
Yeah.
And each one controls like a third of the map. Yeah. So you do mission you sort of gain respect points as you're building up a resistance in that particular area. Bit like with Far Cry 4, obviously, as you're leading a rebellion sort of thing against them.
Yeah.
So it's sort of like the locals taking up arms against the cult in this one, really. And as you're taking up and you're building up, that you sort of fill up a bar, and then obviously once it gets to a certain point, I assume, because I'm almost filled up the bar, it hasn't quite shown me yet, but I assume you'll unlock a mission where you can then take out that lieutenant.
Yeah, that sounds like the right mechanic. That sounds like the traditional mechanic, right?
Yeah, it's fairly traditional. So, but you don't have to do every single story mission to do it. You can do it by liberating outposts, like in the older games, or finding unlockables, blowing up certain buildings that are controlled by them, that sort of thing. Like there's like they have like storage silos around in farms and that, but if you blow them up, you get some points, or even rescuing part of like civilians that are being attacked on the side of the road, because obviously it's like randomly generated stuff, obviously, as well. Yeah, you don't get as much points as you would for say doing a story mission, obviously, but it's you don't have to do everything, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, no, I understand. It's I mean, that's kind of been the way for Far Cry for a while, hasn't it? It's like you can do the main story will take you a fixed amount of time, and then there are all these extra beaten path things you can go off and do as well to add to your experience. I always do.
I mean, I enjoy it. There's lots of vehicles and stuff. There are the big thing. You can play it in co-op. I believe you could do that in Far Cry 4. There's that you have specialists who are like helpers that can, you can either be like I mean, I think the ones they advertised when the game was first released, but obviously you can have a dog called Boomer that can help like spot enemies for you, and then or steal their guns and bring them over to you, stuff like that.
Yeah.
But there's also like a guy who can like drop bombs from his airplane, that sort of thing.
Gotcha.
But yeah, and you can unlock the ability where you can have two of these specialists. But it's fairly similar to Primal's having animals helping you out, sort of thing, like walking around with a saber-toothed tiger, that sort of thing. Right. So it's not, again, it's sort of improving upon, but it's not new, if you know what I mean. There doesn't seem to be anything original there. It's just doing what it does well, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I think I understand what you mean. It's more of the same, but in a good way, kind of.
Yeah.
If you go in for the Far Cry experience, that's kind of what you.
Yeah, I mean, if you like the other games and you want more of the same, you're not going to be disappointed. But don't expect them to be. Don't expect to be like revelatory. Revolutionary. That's the word I wanted.
There's not like a huge amount of innovation in terms of gameplay mechanics, but it's going to be fun if you like that sort of thing.
Yeah. Apart from still playing a bit of SteamWorld Dig 2 on the Switch, I haven't really been playing an awful lot of different games since we last spoke. What have you been playing?
Mainly, so I finished Hitman Absolution.
Okay.
One I'd chosen at random, if you recall, using a random number generator. And I'm not very good at stealth, it turns out.
No, I said, did you feel that you got better as the game progressed?
Here and there.
Of it?
I had moments of genius. And unfortunately, it turned out much like anything I do, where there's moments of genius nowhere near enough to be good at something. It's like enough to just be.
You'll feel very satisfied when you pull off a silent assassin ranking or whatever.
Yeah, that sort of thing. Like you get to that point, and that's fine. But I just found myself not very good at stealth. And what was really annoying was when there was a point where Jen has this thing where she goes, "Oh, can I have a go?" And she always does it. She doesn't say, "Can I start my own save game?" What she means is, "Can I just play your game for a bit?" And basically, theoretically, fuck up my score. As it happened, she didn't do that. But what happened was, I'm always a little bit reluctant to hand the controller over at that point. I'm quite happy for her to play. And in fact, I actually bought her a game, which I'll come to in a minute, to play recently, because I wanted to see if she'd like it. And,
I suppose the downside of... sorry to interrupt, but I mean, with Hitman, I suppose... at least it's mission based at the end of the day, so it's not going to. If she balls it up, it's not going to completely knacker. You'll just be sent back to the beginning.
True, yeah, there is that, but yeah, I did find myself annoyed at one point, especially because there was. Have you played Absolution?
A bit. I sort of did the initial training thing, and I then got pissed off with the China level afterwards. So I think I played it a couple of times. The problem is I like the idea of Hitman. I just don't have the patience for it.
Gotcha. All right. So
I feel like it's very cut and dried. Like, it's very, you have to learn. It's all it feels very trial and error for my liking.
Yeah, I can understand.
Stealth games I find is that normally, a stealth game I like is normally where you're rewarded for stealth, obviously, so stealth is the main focus, but I feel like you've got a better chance of scouting the area and that than you do in Hitman. Hitman, it feels like, I didn't know that person was around that corner and now I've got to start again.
Yeah,
sort of thing.
Yeah, I get what you're saying. So there's a level where you have to basically get into, it's like a hotel, like a mansion house. You have to get into there. And I was been sort of sneaking around the outside of the perimeter and getting a disguise and wandering in and sort of walking around. I found it quite annoying how quickly they noticed you, even if you're in disguise.
Yeah, that was the thing. I didn't. That again, that's another thing that annoys me. I don't see why. What's the point of disguises if they just go, oh yeah, it's that slaphead with a hat?
Yeah, exactly. Especially it's like even when you had one with a if you got a disguise that had a balaclava, I was like, oh, I'm in business. I'm going to be able to cover my face. No, he just puts a pair of sunglasses on. He's still bald.
Like, yeah, that's what
that doesn't make sense. Anyway, so I'm playing this, and I must have tried 4 or 5 times to just go around the perimeter, and I was making incremental progress every single time. It was almost like a Dark Souls game for me. I was just kind of chipping away at the level and figuring out little things here and there. So,
which weirdly, I have more patience for Dark Souls than I do it.
It's weird, isn't it?
Why. Yeah.
I don't know why. I'm sitting there playing, and then Jen's like, "Can I have a go?" I said, "Yeah, sure." And so I grudgingly handed it over because at that point, it's my own save game that's being. If she just wanted to wait till I finish and then start her own go, have at it. I'm quite happy for that to happen. But it's just something about my save game. I guess it's because I don't feel like I've completed it if I had help. But I'm just a purist.
Okay. Yeah, I suppose. Well, I don't normally have that problem because, no offense to Kat, normally, and she'll help me with some puzzles because she might spot something on the screen that I don't necessarily see straight away. Yeah. I mean, I will probably work out the puzzle eventually, but she might help me work it out quicker, and I don't mind that. But I mean, she's normally, because she mainly plays PC games, she's normally pants when it comes to like controller-based games, for first person or third person action games or whatever. So she'll normally, like, I remember we were playing like a sort of pass the pad going through one of the PS3 Tomb Raider games. I can't remember which one it was. Yeah, it's the one where you're trying to find like Thor's hammer or Thor's gauntlets or something. Underworld, I think it was. Sure. But I just remember like a very early bit. It's like you're working your way through a puzzle and then a giant octopus turns up. Like you do. And to be honest, the giant octopus doesn't do anything, but I just remember she was helping her way, like climbing through the puzzle, and she was fine with the exploring part of it. Yeah. But the moment the giant octopus turned up, all of a sudden I was holding the pad. I'll come to a minute in a moment that's a bit like that. But so I never feel like I finish a game. I never feel like I'm in worry of her finishing a game for me, if you know what I mean. So I feel like I'm normally okay. So she got given the controller and she starts wandering over towards the same perimeter where I went. And she gets spotted pretty quick because she managed to get her handle around the basic controls, but it was more about the cohesion where she was falling off. So she'd have like, I know it's B to go into cover. I know it's B to come out of cover, but I don't necessarily, it's not as intuitive as all that just to get straight back in, and you might get spotted in the meantime, that sort of thing. Yeah. So a couple of times she tries the same way as me, a couple of times doesn't work, and she's like, fuck this noise. And she just walks straight through the front door of this house that I'm supposed to be like sneaking into. I was like, what the hell? And it actually worked. The game didn't remark upon the fact that I was just some random chode walking in off the street. It was just like, hello there. You probably shouldn't be here. It's like, yeah, no shit. I'm a hitman. Dual ballers. Anyway, so I finished it. And it's pretty cool game. So I've put it now to a Twitter poll for the next game on my Xbox. I don't know if you saw this. No, I haven't. What's your list? 3 choices were, by the time this goes out, this will have already been decided, so it will be it's more to let you know. Witcher 3. Okay, good choice. Dead Space. First one? Yes, first one. Yeah. Okay. And Shadow of War. Shadow of War, what's that? Sorry, Middle Earth, sorry. Yeah, I missed you. So at the moment, I believe, I'll double check this, but I seem to recall that last time I checked at least, Witcher 3 was running away with it. I have a feeling that one's going to win. Yeah, I must admit, if I was to, I may still cast a vote. Yeah, your vote would be? Probably The Witcher 3, given the choice out of those. I'm not, I know the Dead Space franchise is great, but I'm not a big horror guy anyway, so I probably wouldn't necessarily go for that one. Yeah, fair enough. Shadow of War was good. I enjoyed it, but I must admit I gave up on the end game bit because I agree that was crap. But the storyline is stupid as well. But then again, the first game was stupid anyway, so that's what. That's the thing. Shadow of War is a perfectly fine action game as long as you ignore all the gump that goes with it.
Yeah, which is fair enough.
Yeah, Dead Space is a great game, but obviously not being a fan of horror games, I probably would be against it. But The Witcher 3 is probably one of the best games I've played this generation. So it's going to easily win, I think, out of those three.
Yeah, let's have a look.
In terms of recommendations, but it's going to keep you busy for a while.
Yeah,
it's not a short game.
No, I've heard this. I suppose
it's basically Skyrim length of time.
The option I have is I can always go down the route of picking at it while I go along and playing something else. If I get really desperate.
Do you have the game of the year?
I do.
Yeah, the DLC as well is brilliant. It's one of the few games where I've gone play the DLC. It's brilliant.
So I just checked the poll. It's not allowing me to check without logging in, but I can tell you from experience that based on the number of votes, Witcher 3 is most likely still winning. So we shall see how that one turns out. We'll see.
If it comes to a point, you can add my point for The Witcher 3.
If you can be the tiebreaker, how's that?
Yeah, fine.
Sound good? All right, cool. So
have you ever done one of these things? Like, because I must admit, I'm normally quite bad when I go like, "Oh, what should I play next?"
Yeah.
Well, I will try and narrow it down to 3 games, and then I've gone, "No, you know what? Fuck you. I'll play this."
Flip a 3-sided coin.
Yeah, but then I'll talk myself out of it when I've gone like, "Oh, that's what the coin said."
Well, then secretly, that's what you wanted to play all along. You just couldn't.
Yeah.
You needed.
I didn't know if you were just going to go like, thank you for that. I'm playing Dead Space.
No, whatever people decide, I will go for this one because I'm trying my best to make this more interactive because it's more. I find it more interesting. People might find it more interesting. Who knows?
Yeah. Thank you for your input, but on the other hand,
fuck you. So I've been playing that. Me and Jen finally finished the 3rd series of Walking Dead, the Telltale one.
Okay. Was it worth the bugginess?
Yes, it was a good story. It did tell a good story, but it was worth the bugginess. But it had some really weird bugs in it.
Have they patched it or not yet?
I'm assuming they've done something with it because it runs a lot smoother than it used to. Even when we played it the other day, it still has a little bit of Telltale always have a bit of slowdown in some of the animations.
Yeah, no, there'll always be I'm trying to remember what decisions you made, so I'm having a bit of a lag. And it'll play the scene. But you can tell there's something going on in the background.
It could be a lot worse because they could be like, I can't believe you killed bloke.
Oh, yeah, no, I'd rather it lagged for a couple of seconds and then played the scene than...
Exactly.
But yeah.
We finished those, so we did the last 2 episodes of that. And there is officially now a final series coming next year.
Okay. I assumed the 3rd series was the last series.
As well as Wolf Among Us Series 2 as well. It's been confirmed.
Yay.
I'm happy about that because I like big...
I really enjoyed that. I still need to read Fables.
Great first game.
Read it.
Great first game. So I played those. And then I decided to try something completely different and very unlike me. And I played some Fortnite.
Okay. How did you find it?
I don't get the fun. I don't get the appeal. I really don't. Right. So for those who aren't familiar, which I'm assuming is fucking nobody at this point, but nevertheless, it helps me to get it through my head. Fortnite is now. I was playing the battle royale mode. To be clear, so you're 100 people, up to 100 people in a room. You all go over the top of the map in a big party bus with a balloon on it. You jump off at some point. You go and scavenge. You get some guns, and you try and survive as long as you can. Do you want to know what the tactic was that I allowed myself to survive to the last dozen?
Is it hiding in a hole somewhere?
No, I didn't even get on the island. I jumped out of the bus and instantly deployed my parachute and just floated down towards the island at the slowest pace known to man. And by the time I got down there, I was number 12.
Really?
Horseshit.
Bloody hell! No, I never done that. I must admit, I normally deploy my parachute at the last possible second. But.
Yeah, this is it. No, I usually do the same, and then I thought, what happens? It occurred to me. What happened was I jumped out of the bus, and I noticed that like 4 or 5 different other people jumped out of the bus at the same time. I was like, "Fuck, that's no good." They're all gonna firefight. Soon.
They're all going to blow the game. They're all much better at me at this game than I am.
Yeah, seriously. You could be a half-pissed gibbon, and you'd probably have a better chance of shooting me than I do of shooting you. And I decided, you know what, I'm going to glide for a bit and work my way past them. And I was like, I could go for ages at this pace. So I did, and I went all the way around the map, just exploring the different bits, just like basically spiraling in towards the center, just slowly.
It's like a shit Mary Poppins.
Like a shit Mary Poppins. And
I'm shit Mary Poppins, yo.
It's annoying that I can't make shit Mary Poppins the episode title for this one. But thank you, Apple Podcasts, for nothing at all. Said no one ever. But yeah, I played it for about half a dozen rounds, and for me, it just bores me. It's too much waiting around for not enough action.
Yeah, I must admit, it's a game I dip into every now and then. It's like if I know it's the sort of game that if I had a spare 10 minutes, I could get a game in. Yeah, no, I will play around, and it's not something I avidly go, oh, I really must go home and play Fortnite. You know, I'm not hooked by it. Yeah, I don't want to throw any money at it or anything.
Yeah, in the same way, I'm like, if I've got a spare 48 seconds, 30 of which is loading the fucking game, then
it does take a long time to load.
It's a big old map, though.
Yeah, I would love to, even if we do like a share thing on it. I do want to actually have a go at the team version of it.
The squad based one.
The squad based one, because I've only ever played solo.
We've got PlayStations.
Yeah, that's what I said about it. Yeah, maybe if we did that, even if we like, I set a record. Well, I mean, you know,
we can all set off.
You can set a share play on PlayStation.
Yeah, or you can just set off recording. Yeah, set off recordings on our individual consoles,
and then you can marry it up if you want to with sound or whatever.
Yeah.
But I just thought it might actually be a laugh just to do like an E14 version of it.
Oh, that could be. Yeah, do you know what? That might make it more palatable. Is, to be honest, playing with squads might anyway. I didn't realise that squads was a thing at first, and I was accidentally plugging one of my teammates with bullets, and then I was just like, why isn't it killing him? This game sucks. I was like, oh,
right. No, I realised it was solo, but then I was like, I don't know anyone. I didn't really want to play with randos, so I
didn't realise there was a solo option. I thought I was in the solo option. This is where I got confused, and eventually, and then I just went, oh, I see, and then I finally was able to get into solo mode, and then after that, it was way more. Still more fun, but not that fun.
Yeah, I mean, I found it okay. I think a lot of it is more luck than judgment. I mean, the best I've ever done is come number 3.
Number 3 is pretty impressive, dude. I say number 12 is my best. I didn't actually set foot on the island until about 5 minutes in.
Considering I don't really play it all that often, I thought I was quite happy to get to number 3. But that was with a lucky draw from where I landed and getting a good weapon and getting the shield potions and all that stuff.
That stuff doesn't help me. They just managed to still take me down. I can do the base mechanic, the building mechanic. I can do it okay, but I can't do it fast enough.
Not as fast as some of those guys. No, some of those guys are. And I must admit, I can build. I don't know. I think it's because I'm so used to other shooters, so I don't tend to go for the build option as often, and I probably should, because I think the ones that get to number 1 are the ones that are good at building.
Yeah.
So, but but at the same time, there's nothing part of it that makes me go, oh yes, can't wait till I get home. I'm going to jump on Fortnite when I get home. There's nothing that makes me want to do that. Yeah. It was more, I want to see what the fuss is about and have a go of it. And I went, oh, this is quite fun. I do like that. There's the bits I like most about it, weirdly, even though I know it's not that fun, is when you're looting a room and then you hear someone else's footsteps.
Yeah.
And you have that tense moment. That's the bit I actually like, that little bit of, oh shit, is he going to see me, or is he going to? Because that's when I'm like, oh, I actually feel like I am in the movie Battle Royale. Apart from without the exploding.
It makes me wonder if PUBG might be, a
better game experience-wise.
Yeah. Just like it might be more my sort of thing, because it's not. It's a combination of the shooting mechanics and the build mechanics are just not working for me personally. But then PUBG might work better because it's just the shooting stuff.
Yeah, it's more focused on shooting than building, I suppose. And I suppose the only thing that puts me off PUBG is like, at least I know I can dip into Fortnite, play it for free, and go, yeah, that was all right.
Yeah,
it's free to play. I'm okay dipping into it once in a blue moon.
Mm-hmm.
But with PUBG, I feel like, oh no, I have to shell 20 odd quid for the pleasure.
Yeah.
and that's what puts me off. Even though I know it's like one of the biggest selling games of all time or whatever, but as I said, because I'm not mainly multiplayer orientated, that's what puts me off it.
Yeah. So I played a bit of that, and then I bought Jen a game. So I finally spent some more. I spent some more of my vouchers. So remember we were talking. I managed to get up to 340 quid before I started spending, and I bought Xenoblade Chronicles 2, which I haven't had a chance to play yet.
Good game.
Because I've been playing LA Noire on the Switch again, and that game's fun. I've forgotten how much fun that game is.
Is the port okay?
Yeah, it's pretty good actually. The touch controls I don't really use, but they seem to work fine. I just don't use them because I'm usually playing in handheld mode, so it's not really intuitive.
Yeah, I mean, I must admit I wouldn't normally go for touch controls. I mean, I tried it for 2 seconds on Bayonetta and went, well, this is horseshit, and then never used it again. Or didn't understand it. It felt really loose. I was like, this isn't how the game's meant to be played.
Yeah. It's like, so I've been playing a little bit of that, and so I haven't played Xenoblade Chronicles 2 yet, but I bought God of War, which I haven't had a chance to play.
No. Well, I love it. So.
Yeah, I know you love it. So, and I'm sure I will too once I actually get going with it. I'm sure I will. I bought...
Did you do the other ones?
The previous God of Wars? Yeah, the only ones I didn't finish were the PSP ones. I never did those.
Oh, okay. Yeah, no,
I did the core. I did the core PS2 story ones and and God of War 3, and they were all awesome.
Yeah, I did I did the first. Yeah, did God of War 1 to 3, and I did the prequel one, whatever that was called.
Oh, Path of. No,
it was on PS3, whatever that was called. The Reckoning. No. Began with an R, I think. I can quickly fact check it.
Rejoice. But yeah, I bought that. I haven't had a chance to play it yet. It's called God of War Review. Oh no, wait. Is it like Rage of Sparta or something?
God of War PS3, maybe that'll... Oh no, I was completely wrong. It's Ascension.
Ascension. Okay, yeah.
That was sort of like a sort of prequel to it, but it had a nice mechanic where you could actually grab people with the blades and pull them around and that.
Oh, okay, nice. Yeah, I never got a chance to play that one. That was one of those ones I think was on PlayStation Plus, and I just never got around to it.
It was a sort of a spin-off because for the longest time I thought God of War 3 sort of ended it.
Yeah, well, you were forgiven for thinking so. It was pretty definitive at the time. So then I bought Wolfenstein 2 because it was cheap.
Good choice.
I'm sure.
Yeah, I picked it up mainly because it was cheap, but it was,
it's like £12 or something like that.
Yeah. I think it held its value in the trading as well, because I think I got most of that money back when I traded.
That's pretty cool. Oh yeah, I've been playing a bit of No Man's Sky, speaking of trade-ins as well.
Oh yes, I saw you got a trophy earlier.
Yeah. I mean, it's okay. It's a kind of game. It's like a Minecraft. It's just one I can stick on when I don't want to particularly think about anything.
Yeah, as I said, if I was playing it as my main game and start putting hours upon hours into it, I think I'd be a bit bored.
Yeah,
but in terms of dicking around for a couple of hours or so every now and then, I think it's fine.
Even the sort of the improved game mechanics they've added in aren't enough to hold my attention really, because I don't think I've even figured out where the fuck to find them. Base building and stuff.
I've started the base building. I can't remember what you got to do. I think I had to Google what you had to do in the end. I think I found an area that you could. I found an area that you could claim to be a base, but to actually get people to come and help you with the base building and to do the missions, you had to go to a spaceport to get the person or something like that.
Gotcha.
So I was a bit like, I wouldn't have worked that out normally. I thought
rather just play Skyrim some more, I think, in that situation.
Yeah.
I'm building bases anyway.
Can I have my allowance?
Yeah, exactly. No. Shank. I bought Jen a game as well. And I was toying with what to get her, because she was saying about the reason she wanted to play Hitman was because she likes sniping in games. And I offered to buy a Sniper Elite 4 because it was in CEX on PlayStation.
Okay.
And in the end, we found her something else that I thought was story-driven, so she might like it. The Last Guardian.
Okay. That's been in my to-play file for about a year. I haven't played it.
It's quite quaint, I will say that. So I've been watching her play.
Well, I know you and your Team ICO games.
Orange Farm and Ghost Bitch. At the event of my experience playing Eco is a little boy yelling Orange Farm and then some Ghost Bitch following him around. And then Shadow of the Colossus is me just falling off after climbing for 20 minutes and going, oh, fuck this noise. Anyway,
I've not played Shadow of the Colossus.
Last Guardian is a little more forgiving. And it seems to be quite entertaining. I'll tell you what, though, watching Jen play is simultaneously, it's equal parts painful and hilarious depending on what mood I'm in. Because mainly, I don't know what the name of the kid is, but I've never seen him faceplant, but she managed to make him faceplant. She's climbing off the beast thing. I can't remember what it's called. Like, it's called Trico, the name of the beast, but I can't remember what breeder thing it is. It's just like a dog lizard type bird.
Dog bird thing, isn't it?
Yeah, dog bird thing. And she's climbing off it, and she just faceplants off it onto the floor, like bumping like a wrestler. It's bizarre. I've never seen anything like it, but she managed to make it plank.
Yeah, I did buy it for Kat for Christmas because I thought she wanted it, but she'd never actually really played it. So I did say, because I always thought, it's one that you can play and I can help you if you need stuff or whatever.
It's what I basically agreed on it would be, but then I had RimWorld on.
But she hasn't really, she's never really gone, I really want to sit down and play that. So whether I end up playing it and she watches me or whatever, we'll see what happens. But
yeah. It's as I was playing RimWorld, so I was sort of dipping in and out of what she was doing, because obviously RimWorld is tremendous fun.
Yeah, I've still never actually played RimWorld. I know the cat raves about it.
We have to do it sometime. Just sit and watch. You sit and play it, and I'll heckle you. That make for a good.
Is it quite? Yeah, that's the thing. I always look at it, and because I see Cat doing all these things, and I'm always like, I feel like I would need to have a proper, really big tutorial.
It's got a good tutorial. It's got a solid tutorial that gets you through the core of the game really easily, so you'd be fine.
Oh, okay then. So,
yeah. The other thing
I'm always looking at Cat doing, and I'm like, what the fuck are you doing?
Yeah. The other one
never quite obvious.
The other one I played was the Detroit demo. I finally got a chance to play that.
What do you think?
If it wasn't for the fact that they want 50 quid for it in CEX, I'd have bought it at the weekend because I really like the demo.
The demo, was my favourite thing I played at EGX.
Yeah, it's good. It's really good.
I had to queue an hour to play it, but I enjoyed it.
Yeah. But there you go. Anything on your...
You talking down?
Sorry?
You talking down?
Yes. Yes, and then he got shot and blamed me, and I was like, yeah, fair enough.
Yeah, that's the ending I got.
Yeah.
Even Cat did. But the most important thing is, did you save the fish?
Yes.
Good, you're not a monster.
That was out of the measure.
No, I want there to be a Cat. We always go like that. It started off when it was at EGX. They started off a thing with like hashtag save the fish.
Yeah,
that's going around. But
okay.
I want there to be a special trophy in there that you inherently get like the worst ending. You know, you could play the whole game perfectly, but if you don't save that fish, you just get the worst ending or something.
Yeah.
No, I do want to get it, but money's this month, and the fact I'm playing Far Cry, which will probably keep me occupied for most of the month anyway.
That will keep you busy for some time, I would say.
Yeah, I thought I'd clear it down, and probably by the time I've cleared it down, Detroit might have come down in price a bit. So
yeah, there's the thing.
I know it's first party, but
yeah, it's one of the reasons I haven't picked up what's it called, Far Cry 5 with these vouchers is because I know it will come down, and it's only a matter of time.
Well, I mean, it was always going for like really high in TEX, like 45, 50 quid.
Yeah.
But I think I even saw it in Tesco's recently for like 35, so it's coming down. Mm-hmm. So, it's already dropped to 10 recently. So
yeah.
So, I'm still in two minds whether to go for the Dark Souls remastered.
I'm probably not going to bother.
I have got the 360 copy though. That's the only thing. And I thought if I wanted to play it, I could have just whacked it into the Xbox. I'm not sure if it's going to be. Is it going to be worth plunking an extra 20 odd quid to replay to play it, but at 60 frames per second. That's literally what I'll be paying for. So I'm in two minds about it.
Yeah,
or just wait for the Switch version. So.
I'm thinking of picking up Hyrule Warriors for Switch, and because I'm a big dork, Mario Tennis is definitely coming.
I've downloaded the demo because apparently the free play this weekend.
Yeah, it starts this weekend, doesn't it? Yeah, so I'm going to give it a go at some point because I've
never really played a Mario Tennis game, so so I'm happy to have a look, see what it's like. If it holds me interest, I might get it. Yeah,
this is it. If it's an enjoyable game that you can just sort of dick around with and it's local co-op, then you're all set, right?
Yeah, I like the idea of Hyrule Warriors because I like Dynasty Warriors style games, but my big thing is that Breath of the Wild aside, I've never actually finished a Zelda game. So, I don't know if I'm really the target audience, seeing as it's basically, oh my God, every character from Zelda.
Yeah.
And I'll just be going, yep, there's some people.
Yeah, it's certainly a blonde one.
Yeah, it's a bit like the Fire Emblem one and all that sort of thing. I thought that would be completely lost on that. I've never played a Fire Emblem game, so...
Yeah, funny enough, we had a reply to one of our episodes about Fire Emblem, and it was from my brother-in-law-to-be about Fire Emblem. He said, basically, if you're going to choose one of those style games, get Hyrule Warriors out of the two, so I'm probably going to do that, because I trust him on that sort of thing, because he knows his fun games.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't played a Dynasty Warriors style game in absolutely ages, and the last one I played, if you could even argue that it is a Dynasty Warriors style game, was Attack on Titan, just because I know it's by the same developer, but I know that one plays rather differently. So.
I'm buying the sequel to that at some point as well. The other thing I spotted in CEX I've never seen before, they have a game based on the second series of Sword Art Online, the one where they go into the gunplay one.
That came out
video game based on that.
I think, or late last year. Yeah.
That was quite expensive, but I'm intrigued. But the other one I found myself tempted by is getting the SNES Classic, but then I keep talking myself out of it because I don't have time to play the games I've got.
The only thing that puts me off the SNES Classic is first of all, the price, because it's still quite expensive, but secondly, the fact that I'm interested to see what the Switch's thing is, and I thought if it's just going to have a load of those games anyway, do I really need to? Yeah. I know it's going to have a load of NES games. I thought they could easily add SNES games afterwards as well, after a while. So, do I really need? And they're probably going to be a lot of the same games. But I've also heard that, they did a Mega Drive one. That Sega released a Mega Drive Classic or whatever it's called. I don't know. I got told recently that apparently it's you can actually put carts in.
Yeah, apparently I heard this too. I'm not sure, it seems unusual to me.
I mean, it was Spike told me. But, I was like, if I knew that, I would have bought one, because that's basically, I've got a load of Mega Drive games, and it's a Mega Drive that plugs into a HDMI without a load of fucking faff. Yeah. But I thought if I knew it was that, like for 30 or quid or whatever, I would have definitely bought one ages ago. But there is actually, I don't know, it came out today or whatever, but I know there is a Mega Drive collection coming out for consoles as well.
Yeah, I've seen that on the upcoming.
Is that coming? No, it won't be.
Switch. I don't believe so. There's a Street Fighter collection out today, I think.
Yes, then, that's got all of them up to and including 3, isn't it, I think?
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, or like the final third strike of the, the ultimate version of 3. I'm a bit like, do you really need every single port version of Street Fighter 2? But I'm always get a bit funny about that. Do I really need to play every iteration of Street? Do I really want Street? I can understand Street Fighter 1 because that's got a bit of history. I can understand that you'd want the definitive version of Street Fighter 2, so like Turbo Championship Edition or probably whatever it's called. Yeah. And then and then I can imagine you'd want the ultimate version of Street Fighter 3, but do you really need like all the other ones? Or
I don't know.
Like maybe like Street Fighter Alpha 3 maybe, but do you really want Street Fighter Alpha 1 and 2?
That's it, isn't it? I mean, it really depends on how into the Street Fighter games you are. I personally couldn't really give two shits, so it's difficult for me. It's difficult to sell.
It was a bit like Yeah, I was a bit like, oh, that's kind of cool. But then at the same time, I probably don't want to plumb 30 or quid for it. I'd probably wait for it to come down in price.
Yeah, originally...
And annoyingly, it's probably the sort of game that won't come down in price as well.
Yeah, the closest I've ever come to buying a Street Fighter game was from my Switch. And they're talking about over a long period. And that was because there was fuck all else coming out at the time. And now there is loads of stuff I want to play. So, it's...
Oh, was that the crappy Street Fighter 2 new challengers or something?
The Challenger Edition, yeah. But I was tempted to pick it up because there was fuck all else, and I still had some ZX vouchers, shock and horror. I had some of them, and I was thinking of buying that because there was fuck all else to play. But now there's more games, and I've still got the Switch is the first console I've bought in ages where I'm finding myself going, I could pick up Breath of the Wild again and play that again, and happily get back into it. That's why I bought a digital copy of it because I thought I probably will play it again at some point, and I know that rather than trade it in, I know I've paid for it once, and it's always on the Switch if I want to. Yeah. So, but actually, I think out of all my consoles, the one that's getting the least love at the moment is actually the Xbox. Yeah, do you know what? Mine's a little bit like that at the moment, and it's mainly only recently because I've been playing let's say I played a bit of Fortnite, finished off Hitman. It's only them that have been giving me any use. I tell a lie. I have played a bit of I did play a bit of another game recently. Oh, yeah? Only a little bit because I sort of played it because I think with all the hype of the sequel, I sort of went, oh, yeah, I never really gave the first one much of a go because I kept getting to the same point and then stopping. I played State of Decay on the Xbox One. But the original, the year one edition on the Xbox One. Because I had it on Steam, but then I found it was a bit faffy on the keyboard, so I thought I'd probably enjoy it more on a pad. So, yeah, I bought rather than because I did try playing it on the PC, but I got a bit annoyed. So, in the end, I just picked it because the special edition was on Xbox One cheap. I picked it up. Yeah. But, and again, I got to about the same point where I stopped last time, but I do intend to try again and go back to it. But I think I enjoy it to a certain point, and then I find it gets a bit repetitive. I think that's probably why I keep putting it down. Yeah. Yeah. But, it seems like one that's kind of centered around you should probably play this in a small group. Possibly, yeah. And I know the thing about the first one is only single player. Well, I know the big thing about State of Decay 2 is that you can play in co-op. Yeah. And you might have more fun dicking around with friends, I suppose, in that sort of in a zombie apocalypse than you would be on your own. Sure. Yeah, I mean, that was the only reason I found the Division palatable was because I was either playing in a game with friends or playing by myself, but on a chat with somebody like Aaron or somebody like that. So I'd be having a chat with him, talking about whatever, and he'd be playing a different game and I'd be playing the Division. Yeah, I think that's what put me off Destiny because I didn't really have anyone to play with on Destiny, so I got to a certain point and I just got bored. I was lucky I had a couple of workmates who were into it quite heavily, so I was able to sort of pal around with them for a while. I didn't pick up the sequel, and clearly nobody did because it's like 10 quid now. Yeah. Well, no, I just thought that I got stung. I felt like I was a bit stung by Destiny, so when Division came out, I was like, no, it's just looked like another Destiny. And when Destiny 2 came out, I was like, no, you got my money once, you're not getting it again. So, and that's why I was like, no. I mean, fool me once, where credit's due, the gunplay in Destiny is great. Oh, yeah, it's fun. The thing is, I can't say it's not fun. I've sunk dozens and dozens of hours into the first game. I can't say the first game, I didn't play it as much as everyone else did. I think where I got bored was I did the main camp because I think this is probably from playing solo. Yeah, is that I played it. I played obviously all the main campaign, and I did a bit of like the Crucible and all that sort of thing. I couldn't really do a raid because I didn't know anyone else to do the raid with. They were hard anyway. I remember we tried to do a raid. I remember I tried doing it on my own, and I was just like, no, this is impossible. No, me and excuse me and 4 friends tried to do it. Because it was like recommended 5, and we couldn't even open the fucking door. We just kept getting killed by the enemies that were coming in to protect the door. They were just wiping the floor with us. But the other thing I found that I didn't like about Destiny was that when you were playing the other side bits after you complete the main campaign, you were basically playing one of like 3 or 4 missions. Yeah. On loop. It was always the same thing, and then fight a boss at the end. And once you've beaten that boss, the locations and the monsters don't tend to change. Yeah. And then I was grinding to get better light
thing so I could get a better gun just to shoot the same monsters again. And I was a bit like, why am I doing this?
Yeah, there is a point where you're just like, why am I in a petrol station?
But they hit me quite early, and then I didn't even get to like the top level light or anything. I was you know, when considering some people like playing ages and always doing the daily night raid and the daily day raid or the daily whatever, I was like, no, I can't. I don't see the appeal. I mean, apart from playing with friends who I don't know anyone playing, that's why I would like. Yeah, because that's why I had friends that were playing it, but they were always on a different time to me. So I was like, oh fuck it. So, and that's always, I'm a bit like, when they do try and invite me to games, I'm like, why are you always inviting me when I'm doing something else?
Yeah, it's always the way, isn't it? The thing is, you know, obviously it happens to me quite a lot. So people sort of invite me to stuff, and it's like, I'm got quite a lot going on. Like it's, I don't mean it to be dick, but
no, my friend will message me like, "Oh, do you want to play some Tekken?" I'm like, "I'm having dinner." Yeah, I want to watch it. I want to watch a program. I don't really want to play Tekken, but then I feel like, oh no, I better give you a couple. I'll give you a couple of rounds or whatever.
Sometimes you're just not in the mood for gaming as well. Like sometimes you, like you say, you just want to have dinner or like watch a film.
But that's the thing. Because the PlayStation is on quite a lot. You know, someone might try and invite me to something, and I'm a bit like,
fuck off.
It's on because I'm doing other things, like I might be watching YouTube or whatever. It's not because I want to necessarily.
Maybe I'm binge watching Zero Punctuation videos. Did you think of that?
Yeah.
I mean, you would. I love it, but
I know it's not game related, but I showed Kat that bloody every trailer thing you showed me last week. She loved it.
Yeah, the for those who haven't heard it, it's the Oral Noughts How to Make an Epic Movie Trailer, and it's just beat for beat fantastic. Well,
it is every single trailer you will see in the cinema at the moment. It's brilliant.
For sure. It's amazing. And like I said, the fantastic thing about it was I watched that trailer breakdown thing, and it was we were cracking up about it at work. And then at the weekend I went to see a film, and the Tomb Raider trailer was playing, and it was exactly that fucking formula.
Yeah, I showed the Tomb Raider trailer right after that.
Yeah,
because you showed that to me.
Yeah, indeed. Yeah. Right, so I think it is late, and I think it is time now that we call it a day on the Gamecast because it's been lovely chatting to you as always.
Yes, thank you for having me as usual.
Yeah,
always a good fun.
It is late, and like I say, the weather has made fools and knaves of us all, so it's time for us to retire to our beds for the evening. So thank you for listening to the E14 Gamecast from Emotionally 14. If you've enjoyed the show and you wish to subscribe, there are a number of different places in which you can do so. So there are Apple Podcasts, Libsyn, Podbean, Podchaser, Stitcher, Spotify, YouTube. Amazon will give you a lot of hard time playing the E14 Gamecast, so maybe don't bother. Listen Notes, so I've announced it in the Crazy Train, but there's also Listen Notes is a new service I've become aware of, and they've very, very kindly hosted us on there, so that's one more place where you can find the E14 Gamecast. Just search E14 Gamecast on that website, listennotes.com, and you can find us there. Otherwise, you can interact with us on social media by visiting emotionally14.com, tweeting at emotionally14, emailing podcast@emotionally14.com. There's a Facebook page, Emotionally14, and the Facebook group, the E14 Gamecast. Blake, if people want to find you on social media, where would they do that?
If you must find me, you can find me on Instagram at Harmer the Appreciator. You can find me on Twitter at FuckSaveBlake. And you can also find me on Facebook, where I'm also on the E14 Gamecast Facebook group as well.
Yeah, so if you join the Facebook group, you can actually interact with real people from the E14 Gamecast and Crazy Train. So most of us
can poke me.
You can poke him, and you can do the little wavy thing. I think, but
probably if pokes are still a thing, I'm not sure.
There you go. So you can find me on Twitter and Instagram at RobWadeVision. I'm at Emotionally14, RobWadeVision, and Talk Star Wars on Twitter, and obviously talkstarwars.co.uk. Thank you for listening to the E14 Gamecast. Bibbidi Bop Games.